going to be a really good day. A really good day. So, as we've been talking to you for a while, have you been listening to us for a while? We've been explaining in lots of different ways how this process works, because we have been wanting to lay new pipes with you from the beginning that we began flowing in this way. We've been developing new analogies in order to explain the laws of the universe, because you've been living among the laws of the universe and haven't been that aware of the laws of the universe. So we've been making the laws of the universe more obvious to you. Yes? So today we're going to make them so obvious you can't miss them. You will never not understand the laws of the universe and your relationship to them again, because you are the creator of your own experience. So you sift and sort and you ask for things that you don't really expect because you haven't practiced the expectation of them. You want them, but you don't expect it, meaning you haven't practiced it, meaning you don't believe it. Not here, not now, not right now for you. You don't believe it for you. If you did, you'd already be living it, you see. You are living what you're expecting. Let's put it that way. So if you expect not to get what you want, then you don't get what you want. But if you expect to get what you want, then you get what you want. You get what you practice. You get what you expect. You get what you believe. You get what you vibrationally offer chronically. So you've been asking, and you've been delivering your desire in its purest rocket of desire form to your vortex. And the source within you has been keeping that vortex in vibrational beingness by your inner being's attention to it. When you want love, we focus upon the love that you want. When you want well-being, we focus upon the well-being that you want. When you want vitality, when you want flexibility, when you want good times, we focus upon these things that you want. So we keep that light going, so to speak. So there's this vortex that contains all of this high-flying, good-feeling stuff that you've been asking for. It's in your vortex, and it is a reality that you can realize when you get vibrationally up to speed with it. Just like you can't set your radio dial on 101 AM and hear what's being broadcast on 97 FM, your frequencies have to match up. And they have to match up pretty close, don't they? You get off just a little bit and you don't hear what you mean to hear. And these frequencies have to match up, and they have to match up closely as well. So as we've been talking about the vortex for a while, we've been talking about this vortex that holds what you want. And then we began explaining to you that you can put things in that vortex all day, every day, and you do. But unless you are doing something about becoming closer to the vibrational frequency of your vortex, you're not realizing, it's not manifesting. You can't find it. It feels like a fairy tale to you. You want some of the evidence of it to come into your experience. So then we began explaining to you that you've got a point of attraction which you have control over. That's the step 3 part of the equation. Grid knowledge, grid awareness, grid control is step 3 part of the equation. It's what I'm doing with my point of attraction right here and now. So then, as we begin talking about the grid, Esther is thinking that there's one vortex and there's one grid, when really you've been spinning off desire, but you've been practicing all kinds of different relationships with that desire. And so you've got a grid that feels like depression, your point of attraction. You've got a grid that feels like frustration and overwhelmment. You've got a grid that feels more like hope, and you've got a grid that feels like belief, and you've got a grid that feels like knowing. In other words, you have many different grids that you practice occasionally. What we want to put to you is, where's your practice grid? What's your set point? Where do you usually hang out? Esther would say, truthfully speaking, in response to her life as she is living it now, and as she has been living it for quite a while, it falls often in the range of overwhelmment. More stuff to do, more places to go, more people to see, more things to do in any given time than I really have allowed myself time to do. So she hangs around in overwhelmment. So guess what the universe keeps delivering to her? More to do than she has time to do in any given point in time. And guess what she talks about? So as long as she practices a grid of overwhelmment, she doesn't do it all the time, but enough that she has overwhelmment frequently. As long as she practices a grid of overwhelmment, that's what her reality is. That's how much of what's in her vortex she's allowing herself to realize. Now, she has strong determination, so she gets a lot done, more than almost anybody you will ever meet, more than almost 10 times anybody that you will ever meet. She gets a lot done. But there's ease in her vortex that she doesn't allow. There's more playfulness in her vortex that she doesn't allow. In other words, she's practicing the I'm going to get the job done, do or die vibration. But there are some other vibrations that she could practice that would yield her other relationships with life. Are you getting the point? You understanding what we're talking about? So we want to put to you, where's your grid? Not forever, not even what's your average grid. We just want you to be aware, what grid have I got going right now? Because whatever that spinning grid is, whatever that spinning point of attraction is, whatever you're feeling, others that feel like you feel are going to jump on with you. And those that feel like you want to feel are not going to jump on with you until you feel what you want to feel. So, my grid is spinning, and if I'm spinning in frustration, no matter how much I want things to lift up, no matter how much I want cooperative components to come in and assist me, the cooperative ones with what I want aren't available to me. Only the ones who cooperate with where I am are available to me. So everybody that's on my spinning disc, I've invited. And all the ones I want, I'm uninviting. Don't you like knowing that? Well, you like knowing it if you believed you have control over your disc. You like knowing it if you believe you have control over your grid. And you do have control over your grid. You're just not going to change your habit of thought all at once. But we think it helps to know that you can choose a spinning grid. You can choose the depression one, or you can choose the overwhelmment one, or you can choose the high-flying, good-feeling love one. You can choose the everything is working out for me all the time one. You can choose, and the more you choose it and the more you practice it, even if you're only on it for 17 or 18 seconds, you've chosen it and you've got some momentum going. And that's the word that we want to introduce into this subject, momentum. Because when you choose, because of something that's happening in your experience, to get on one of those spinning discs, and let's say it's the one of overwhelmment, or let's say it's the one of discouragement, or let's say it's the one of depression, let's say it's the one of fear, let's say it's any of those that don't feel so good. When you choose one of those discs by virtue of what you're giving your attention to, and you give your attention to it for as little as 17 seconds, now another thought like it is going to join that thought, and now the momentum is greater. And now that that momentum has picked up a little bit, now it's easier for another thought like that to join it. And once you cross the 68-second point of focus, you've got enough momentum going that it's a little bit difficult at this point for you to choose another thought, unless you've been practicing another thought a lot. When you meditate, you stop thought. That helps. When you sleep, you stop thought. That helps. When you appreciate, you choose high-flying thoughts. When you make lists of positive aspects, you choose high-flying thoughts. When you sit and look through a deck of cards that are affirmations of what you want, that helps. When you give your attention to things that you want, that helps. And as you practice those vibrations for 17 seconds, and then more, and then more, and then more, and then more, you can get momentum going. We just want to point out to you that without meaning to, sometimes you get momentum going on a disc that you really don't want to be on, and then law of attraction just keeps delivering to you more of the results of the disc that you're on. And then you observe those results, and then you talk about those results, and so you practice that vibration, and then you get more of that vibration until before you know it, you say, this is my reality. And we say, it is your reality, but it does not need to be your reality. It's only a reality that's responding to the disc that you have been practicing. And you can practice different discs if you mean to, you see. So now you know everything we know. And the new analogies about laying a new waterway, a new flow path, laying a new receptacle, laying a new pipe, laying a new way for what you have been asking for to flow into your experience is not a difficult thing to do. Do you believe that you create your own reality? Do you accept that you are vibrational in nature first and foremost? Do you acknowledge that law of attraction is responding to your vibration? Do you know that you could practice a better feeling vibration? Do you know that you could offer a point of attraction that would serve you better? Do you love knowing that the emotion within you lets you know in every single moment what disc you've chosen? You feel overwhelmed, just stop and say, I did it again. That's the disc I've chosen, and these are the results I'm getting, and that's okay because law of attraction is consistent, and that's a good thing. But I have the ability to set another point of attraction. But I can't do it right now. Not right now. Not right now, this red hot minute, because momentum has this one going. So how would you go about slowing the momentum? What do? Do you speak the opposite word? You could, but it wouldn't do any good when that momentum is strong. What do? Well, you do your best to withdraw your attention from it. But what we want to say to you is, hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. That's really what we want to say to you. Hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. And then you're going to sleep. And when you wake up, just wake up with the intention of getting on a different disc, getting on a better feeling disc. And that's what we mean when we say, get out ahead of the manifestation. We could even say, get out ahead of the momentum before the momentum starts. Decide what momentum you want to get started. We, like a lot of teachers, have been teaching meditation for a long time because when you stop thought, you stop momentum. When you quiet your mind, you stop momentum. And sometimes you say, I can't meditate. I can't stop that momentum. And we say, yes, you can. You can focus upon something that slows it way down. So let's discuss that, because we've been saying to you, if you sit to meditate, we always encourage you to do it early in the day before there's a probability of getting so much momentum going that you don't want. The earlier in the day, the better. But when you sit to meditate and you focus upon the dripping of a faucet, or the flickering of a candle flame, or Esther is often listening for the sound of the air conditioner. Something steady, something not full of thought or ideas, something that doesn't activate doubt or worry within her. Just, can I hear that? Can I hear that? Can I still hear that? Can I hear that? I can hear that. I can hear that. I can hear that. Still hear it. I can hear that. Yep, I can hear that. I can hear that. I can hear that. Doesn't take much of that before any other momentum you've got going on isn't going on. And now, in the absence of contradictory thought, your vibration raises. Your vibration raises to the frequency of your inner being, and often then thoughts from your inner being begin to flood in. Impulses, ideas, inspiration, books, lyrics, all kinds of things begin to flow into your mind because you've stopped the momentum of anything that was contradictory, allowed your vibration to raise, and now you're receiving clear communication from that high-flying vortex. You see what we're getting at? We think you now know everything we know. There isn't anything that we will ever say to you that is of more direct value to you than that. If you believe that you are the creator of your own reality, and you understand that you have a point of attraction, and you now understand that with a little bit of practice that you can control which disc you get on, and that even at a minimum, even if you only beginning today, you can tell when you've got a vibrational point of attraction going that isn't serving you, so at least you could distract yourself from it by, as Jesus said, turning the other cheek, ignoring it as best you can. Life's just going to get better and better and better for you. Now you know.